Hi, welcome to Curvy Berta. This is a channel where I talk about beauty, skincare, makeup, and fashion for plus size bodies. If that's something that interests you, I welcome you to this channel. If you are new here, welcome to Curvy Berta. If you have been here before, thank you for coming back. And if you like the content that you see here, please consider hitting the subscribe button and giving this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at my 5 favorite concealers. Concealer has been a rough road for me. I have a lot of issues under my eyes is my main concern. I have dark circles, I have puffiness, and I have really crepey, frail skin. So 3 things that I look for in a concealer are is the ability to cover the dark lines that cause my circles or that contribute to the circles. Something that's going to help with the puffiness, help make that less visible, and something that isn't going to cake into the lines or the crepiness of my skin, my fragile under eye skin. So it's really hard to find products that do all 3 of those things. So I tend to do my skincare routine or my makeup routine in a couple of different steps when it comes to concealer. I put one concealer underneath my makeup and I put another concealer on top to brighten things. And that seems to help me the best. So I wanted to share the products that I use with you, and so then you'll know what works, because I bought a lot of concealer that I don't use and it's expensive, and so I don't want you to have to go through that if you don't have to. So we're gonna go through my top 5, and I will start with number 5. My number 5 is the Shape Tape concealer from Tarte. This is it's a good concealer. I use it, let me see what my shade is, 16N, Fair Light Neutral. One of the key things with concealer is you want to use a shade lighter than your skin tone, because you want to fade those darker areas, you want to lighten them. So you want to use a lighter color than what your skin tone is. So the Shape Tape by Tarte, it's a contour concealer. It is a nice product. I like it for short term. If we're going out to dinner, I will use this. It works really, really well. It just doesn't have the lasting power on my skin. So if I'm just going out to dinner, or if I'm just going to do something or to wear makeup that I'm only going to have on for a short period of time, and by short period of time, I just mean not all day long. So this is gonna last me a good 4 hours. It's gonna stay where I want it to be, and it's not going to crease. After the 4 hours, I tend to see a little bit more creasing. So it's a great concealer. It just doesn't have the staying power on my skin. Now, everybody's a little bit different, but on my thinner, crepier skin, I tend to see lines and I tend to see it settling into the wrinkles after a while. Initially, again, it works really well. It's got a light feel to it, a light texture to it. It blends really easily. It's got a doe foot applicator. If you know what that means, it looks like the foot of a deer. It's got like a hoof appearance to it, so it's called a doe foot applicator, which some people like, some people don't. I tend to not rub it in with the applicator. I put it on in little dots, and then I use a sponge applicator to put it where I want it to go, and I dab it where I want it to go. So again, the Tarte Shape Tape concealer is number 5 on my top 5. Number 4 for me is the Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics. This I have in shade 13.0 Light Neutral. It is, there's no applicator for this. It's a tube that comes out. It's a thicker concealer. I tend to put it on my finger and then apply it. Not a huge fan of touching the tip of the package with my finger all the time. I prefer an applicator of some sort, but you can also put this directly on your makeup sponge and use it that way. This is another really good concealer. I like this. It doesn't give me 100% all day coverage, but it is waterproof concealer, so it stays on nicely. So if I'm going to the beach, if I'm going swimming, if I'm going to a hot tub, if I'm going somewhere, if it's a really hot day and I'm sweating a lot, I'll reach for this concealer because it stays on with perspiration. It stays on when you're wet. It's got some good staying power as far as being waterproof. As far as getting into my lines and wrinkles and getting into my crepey skin, after about 4 to 6 hours of wear, I'm seeing this in my lines and wrinkles and settling into pores in other places. So again, a great concealer, a wonderful concealer, perfect for waterproof needs. But again, it's going to settle into my fine lines and into my crepey crevices over time. So this is a good concealer, just not my favorite for all day wear. It is an anti-aging waterproof concealer. So it's really a great product. Again, I like it for those situations where I'm going to be getting wet and I don't want my makeup to melt off, or it's going to be really hot and I don't want my makeup to melt off if we're playing pickleball, or if we're going for a bike ride, if we're going working out, going for a long walk, going hiking. I'm going to pick this one because I'm not going to sweat it off. My number 3 concealer is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser from Maybelline. I like this product a lot. I love the way it wears. It doesn't settle into my crepiness over time. It's got excellent staying power throughout the day. It has it's got good coverage. I have this in the color 110 Fair. I do have a darker color. I don't know offhand what it is, but for summer months when it's a little bit warmer out, and I have more color to my skin, I do have a darker color that I reach for. My complaints about this is it's got a sponge applicator on top, and you twist and you have to dab it on with this sponge applicator. Not a big fan of that. I ripped the sponge applicator off and I use it so when you turn it, it bubbles up. And you have to turn it a lot, and then you get quite a bit. It bubbles up and comes out. Sorry, got off camera there. Then you can put it on your applicator, on your sponge applicator, or on your finger and apply it. It's not waterproof. That's my only complaint about it. It does come off if you get wet. But it's got good coverage. It's nice and silky smooth. It doesn't settle into the fine lines, and it gives me good coverage for my dark lines, dark spots, as well as for the crepiness. So I do like that a lot. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but on Easter, we rescued 3 newborn kittens from a homicidal parent cat, and they are getting just big enough to wreak havoc in our house, and they're starting to destroy things. And so I have a love-hate ongoing relationship with these little rodents. And they're cute. They're super cute, but they're also very, very, very naughty. Very naughty. Hi. On with the show. Number 2, and I say number 2 because it's a tie for number 1. This is one of the concealers that I use every single day. This is my Dior, what is it called? Dior Backstage Flash Perfector Concealer. Not waterproof, so I don't use it when I'm going to be needing to have waterproof concealer, but this is my top coat concealer. This is the one that I put on top of my foundation. It has a paintbrush applicator, which is a little bit different I dab it on. Again, I dab it on and I use my sponge to put it where I want it to be. It is a fantastic concealer. It's light enough where it's almost a little bit of an illuminator or a, yeah, it's not a highlighting color, but it's almost an illuminator under my eyes. And so that helps with the dark circles, and it also helps kind of diminish the appearance of the bags. It doesn't settle into my creases, my crevices, my crepiness, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't settle into that. It stays where I put it, and it stays all day. And I love it. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. I will link it below, and I'll link them all below. But this is my tied for number one at number two, because it's the second one I use every day. And number one is the Benefit Cosmetics Bowing Bright On Concealer. And I use this in a little bit of a darker and yellower color. I use it in the color Ginger because it does a marvelous, is combining those words. It does a wonderful job of covering the dark bags under my eyes and any other red spots that I have that I want to conceal. So any blotchiness in my skin, any dark spots, sun damage, I use this on. I do use a pore mattifying, a pore correcting primer before I put this on. Otherwise, this will settle into my pores on my nose if I use it on my nose. But with a pore correcting primer, words, they just aren't working today. With a pore correcting primer, this does not settle into the pores on my nose. It doesn't settle into my fine lines. It doesn't enhance my crepiness. It does a really good job. I use this underneath my foundation every day, and it's been a godsend for me. This has a doe, well, not really even a doe foot applicator. It's almost more of a lip gloss applicator. It's a flat doe foot type applicator, but it's flat. And I've gotten good use out of this one. This one is almost, I can feel it's getting lighter and lighter. It's almost empty. I do have another one I repurchased, so that's how much I like it. It's hard for me to repurchase an item, and I have to really, really like it to do that. And I did repurchase this. So this is my number one concealer, the Benefit Cosmetics Bowing, B-O-I-I-N-G, Bowing. I don't know if that's going to be forwards or backwards for you guys, but there it is. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite concealer. I'd love to try new products. If you've got something that works really well, I'd love to hear what you're using. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. It really helps with the growth of my channel. And I will be putting up another video shortly with my favorite foundations. We'll see what my top 5 favorite foundations are. Stay tuned.